Steeled Veterans, the original premium Warbond that was released with Helldivers 2 itself. Today, we're going to be taking a look at everything it has to offer, so you can decide if it's worth getting for yourself. I'm sure many people already have this Warbond, it's pretty old, but this is more for new players than it is for anyone else. We are going to get right into it on page 1 with the P4 Senator. I've made it clear in the past that this is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's the only standard revolver in the entire game right now, so it's a special weapon that is still unmatched for style. It penetrates heavy armor and deals great damage per round. Plus, you can't toss away any rounds because it doesn't use a standard magazine. You only replace the bullets that you actually use, so nothing ever goes to waste. The only real downside is the slow reload time, since you load each round individually, unless you empty all 6 chambers. Then you can use the speed loader. So if you're in combat and you need more rounds, don't reload when you're only half spent. Use the entire cylinder before reloading, and then it's much faster. It acts a lot more like a standard pistol if you do that. The other weapon on page 1 is the AR-23C Liberator Concussive. This is a weapon that has seen many buffs since launch, and it actually does respectable damage now. It does more damage now than the Liberator did at launch. Isn't that crazy? It is actually the only assault rifle that has a drum mag by default, which fits well with its role. It's meant for supporting fire against enemies. It will knock them around and endlessly stagger them, so it's great if you can coordinate well with your group. If you're looking for pure killing power, then this isn't the best choice, but it has a great volume of fire and it's damn fun to shoot. So I consider this to be a fairly underrated weapon. Page 1 also comes with an armor set, the SA-25 Steel Trooper armor set. This is a pretty cool set. It takes the original Helldivers 2 armor design and makes it look much more seasoned.
Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
This armor comes with the servo-assisted passive, which allows you to throw grenades and stratagems further, while giving you increased limb health, which makes sense. You're already missing some limbs after all. It's a pretty good passive, but it can be hard to adjust to the increased throwing distance. Sometimes you might throw something too far or not far enough. You end up overcompensating or undercompensating a lot of the time. It actually makes a lot of sense thematically. It's like you're actually getting used to your new limbs. You just better hope that you don't get any phantom pain. I hear that it's like having an invisible arm. This video was fact-checked by real American patriots. Page 1 also has the Super Person Victory Pose. I just like it a lot. Very triumphant, very cheesy, very cool. Now it's time for page 2, so we're gonna look at the G10 Incendiary Grenade. This is a really solid grenade. It lacks initial explosive damage, but you can set an area on fire and damage enemies over time. Since fire can penetrate heavy armor, you can use it against most enemies in the game. It also has enough destruction force to destroy buildings like bug holes and fabricators, so you could effectively replace the default grenade with this if you want to. This is a great pick for pretty much any loadout, and it's pretty versatile. Page 2 also has its own armor set, the SA-12 Servo-Assisted armor set. It is functionally identical to the Steel Trooper set from page 1, but it still looks great. The helmet is awesome. It looks like it's straight out of Halo Reach. But beyond the cosmetic differences, there's not much to talk about since I already explained the armor passive. There's nothing to talk about beyond how cool it looks. Page 2 also comes with a primary weapon, the SG-22IE Breaker Incendiary. This shotgun adds on to the theme of page 2 being fire-based, and it's one of my favorite incendiary weapons in the game. It fires a wide spread of incendiary pellets with each shot, pelting any enemies in sight and lighting them on fire. The damage is nothing to scoff at either. If you're up close and you can hit most of your shots on somebody, it's gonna hurt them really bad. Now, it is limited to 3-round burst, but if you feather it correctly, you can pretty much achieve the same result as a fully automatic shotgun. This is a great option for taking out hordes of smaller enemies, so pick it up if you like playing against the bugs or the Illuminate. Page 2 also has the Roll 'em victory pose. I like this pose because I can pretend to gamble in Helldivers instead of losing my money in real life. Roll them bones. Let us move on to page 3, where we have the Flexible Reinforcement Budget Booster. This booster decreases the amount of time it takes to regenerate reinforcements when you run out. Honestly, this has never been a good booster in my opinion. It's super niche and it's rarely going to be useful. This booster relies on you nearly failing your mission to take effect, so while it can be considered a nice safety net for some people, I would rather take something that can have a long-lasting effect during the entire mission, something that can prevent me from ever needing a booster like this in the first place. That's all just my opinion though. If this booster works for you, then I'm glad, I'm happy for you. Page 3 also has our final weapon, the Jar 5 Dominator. The Dominator is a pretty unique weapon. It fires jet-propelled rounds that travel slowly through the air, but deal big damage when they connect with the target. It's a very hefty and slow weapon. It's not great for dealing with large groups of smaller enemies. It's better for dealing with larger enemies one at a time. It penetrates medium armor, so it's good against most enemies, and the damage is there to back up that penetration. It does quite a good amount of damage with every shot, and it can one-shot a lot of different enemies with ease. Overall, this is a fun weapon that is pretty different from the others, so it's a fun addition to this Warbond. Page 3 also has our final armor set, the SA-32 Dynamo armor set. This is actually different from the other sets because it is a heavy armor set, so you get some extra protection, but of course, you're gonna be a lot slower if you wear it. It has a great look to it. I like the color palette they went with. The bandolier looks awesome and the helmet is great. It also looks like it's right out of Halo. This is a cool armor set if you enjoy the servo-assisted passive and you like heavy armor. I like heavy armor myself, so this is right up my alley. And finally, we have the Your Next victory pose. Well, there's not much to say about that, is there? Overall, Steeled Veterans is a well-rounded warbond. You get some good weapons, some cool armor, and the various cosmetics that come with all of that. And of course, you get 300 super credits for your trouble. The only real problem with this warbond is the booster. The only time it's worth taking is if you're joining a mission that is already going wrong, but the game doesn't tell you how the mission is going before you hit the ground, and even then, you might not even get a lot of use out of it. But still, it's 1,000 credits for 5 weapons, 3 armor sets, and all of those cosmetics, the capes, the cards, the emotes, all of that. It is a great value, and if you're not sure what warbond you want to buy, then this is worth taking a look at. It's not one of the essential warbonds, but it's got some pretty great weapons that are also really fun to use, and that is what you want in a warbond. Stay tuned for next week, when we're going to cover the Cutting Edge Warbond. It's going to be fun. I like doing this now because we're going to get a bunch of Xbox players soon, so I want to have a series of videos covering the Warbonds. I'm going to do one per week until we're caught up. And that is all I have for today, so this is the SES Prophet of Dawn signing off.